In today's episode, a King Tiger that's being hit again and again. You're watching World of Tanks with Black Knight. But before we'll see all that, we're gonna see one replay of myself playing the Tiger 1. And this tank in the Second World War was a fearsome machine. As you can see it here with the long 88, it was never made like this. And well, to be completely accurate, this turret is only at the later stages of the development that it was actually added. And well, to say it was actually added, this tank didn't actually release with a different turret than you can see here. The turret you can see here is the official Tiger turret, but it only came on later in the development stages of this tank. But as you can see it on this tank, I've got a long 88 mounted, although in the Second World War it didn't have this gun. It did have a shorter 88mm gun. But with the time that it came out, it had phenomenal penetration rates, phenomenal destruction ratio, and it really made the American and Russian tank drivers fear this tank. And to be honest, the Americans didn't really use any tanks against the Tiger. They mostly used tank destroyers, and only in the end of the Second World War did they assume tank versus tank combat with their own tanks, giving the Pershing that sole role of going up against Tigers. And well, I must say, the Pershing was a good adversary for the Tiger, and in World of Tanks the Pershing is only a medium tank, but it's a tier higher. It's a tier 8 medium tank, and the Tiger is only a tier 7 heavy tank here. So they did have to do something to make it less fearsome. Although I must say the Tiger is highly underpowered in World of Tanks. The only thing actually good about this tank is its gun and the accuracy of the gun. Although you're gonna see that the accuracy here in World of Tanks might be a bit lacking anyway. But in this match I've almost done 500 damage now, as you can see. Hit the M6 and the T-34. T-34 mostly fought on the Eastern Front in the Second World War, and they needed 5 of those tanks to beat a Tiger, and only with those numbers would the survivability rate of those 5 tanks be 40% survivability. Okay, I'm being shot at here by something. Or actually the T-34 was hit, almost hit I think. I did get spotted there, but nobody seems to be in any rush to stop us. On the other flank it's going quite evenly against each other. Heavy tanks brawling with each other and stuff like that. And I got another big hit in on that Cromwell. Yeah, it actually is a Cromwell. You can't see it at the moment. My mods aren't up to date with the mini patch Wargaming release today. So we're having to do with tank recognition on eyesight. That's one thing I do not really have a big problem with. I do recognize tanks pretty quick. For example, that heavy tank there is a KV-85, as you can notice on the lower side. Get a good hit in. He seems to have a smaller gun. I think it's actually still an 85mm gun, because he actually shoots faster than I do. And he didn't penetrate there, and that's why in World of Tanks the accuracy isn't that impressive. He hit right behind the wall and the stone. I have to move back a little bit so I can actually see him again. And when he disappears, I get to penetrate my last shell, finishing off the KV-85. Now, instead of following the T-34 towards the middle. Because, well, once I am platooned up here, are now both dead. I go up towards the flag and come up against a T-69. And would that shot have been penetrated, would have been that a penetration, I would have lost more than half of my health. And instead I keep over 600 health points remaining and get him down to the same amount before he finally gets out of my sight. And I have to chase him down even further, although I already was chasing him down. And they said, like, be careful, you're gonna die if you keep moving after him. Ah, no. Wow. Did you see that bounce? I actually hit the mountain with that bounce. That's something from the 9.3 patch. Missed that shot. He did get a shot in. And I noticed quite early on that a T-34 was coming after me. And, well, that actually finished the map. And because the T-34 came after me, I survived. And, well, as you saw in the beginning, there would be a King Tiger game coming out. Here is Rocket Soldier in his King Tiger, platooned up with Ateliana and Sneaky Red. Providing the roles they have, as heavy tank, tank destroyer and artillery, it's quite equally, well, divided here. Borzik getting stuck between two heavy tanks. It's actually a Tiger P with a stock turret. So he doesn't really have the 88mm gun, but rather got the 7.5cm gun from the VK 3001P. But Rocket Soldier here got his King Tiger, or Tiger 2 as it's pronounced in the game, fully upgraded with a long 10.5cm gun. The upgraded turret, which has quite a lot of frontal armor. And, well, its frontal hull, as you can see, over 210mm. And he's going to use its armor very, very, very well. But climbing hills is not one of the things the Tiger 2 is very good at. As you can see, Rocket Soldier keeps zooming in and out. And able to keep his aim pretty steady during driving. On the back of that KV-5. That's something you'd not really expect from a driver with the stats he actually has. But as I said in my last video where I had a recording from him, is that, well, he has been improving so much lately that there is no way how good he's actually become since his stats are, well, have begun increasing. So, but his first two shots didn't actually hit that very well. But he does get to finish off the T-21. And then he got shot there twice. As some of you might have thought in the beginning, wow, there were 3 shots there. No, there actually weren't. It were only 2 shots. But that doesn't really matter. He does get a shot in on the Yak Tiger 88 there. And he's going to, well, try to get a lot of shots from them even more. And that is actually going to be pretty funny. What you can't see is that I actually saw the surroundings of the Yak Tiger 88, but he saw the Yak Panther 2 coming in, and he actually shot him instead of the Yak Tiger 88, and now he can finish off the Yak Tiger 88. Now being up against a tier 9 medium tank with enough penetration to penetrate the frontal hull, or actually the frontal turret armor. He has to take care a little bit more, but he somehow makes sure he doesn't get hit too much, although that one went in. He keeps driving back and forth, as you can see, side scraping behind this wall and making sure that Lorraine can't get those ridiculous shots off on his commander's hatch, so he has to shoot somewhere else. And I suppose he's shooting at the side of the turret, where you can see the tracks. Well, bad shot there, or actually bad luck. Bouncing on the side of that turret. For those who actually looked or saw it going bouncing, they saw that that shell actually didn't really go into the side but hit the top of the turret. Meaning that there was no chance for him to, well, actually penetrate that shot. Missing another shot. Sorry for the suspense there. Sometimes you have to make a little bit of a building expense. And Sneaky Red just sneaking his shell into the T-34 right before Rocket Soldier is moving in to finish him off. And first he's thinking about going for artillery, but then he's going after the 2 tank destroyers there, which are going for those other 2 tank destroyers. As you can see, 87 and a Jagd Panther. Well, they're actually both tier 7 tank destroyers. And 87 actually has a whole lot more health points than the Jagd Panther has. Although the Jagd Panther has a more fearsome gun and more speed. Okay, Sneaky Red getting another shot in. And well, the ISU, Ateliana in this ISU got finished off there. So, and the SU-12244 that was with them also got finished off. Rocket Soldier, too bad, getting a shot on the outer side of his aiming circle and bouncing, as you can see again. And well, he is able to finish him off right now. And this game is as good as finished. And this is something I wouldn't actually have done. Because, well, you'll see right now why. And he's pretty lucky that his tracks were only, well, damaged by that. And not completely ripped off. Auto-aiming, but instead of auto-aiming, he finishes off with a normal aimed shot, dealing over 3000 damage. And as you can see here, 55.5, almost 55,000 credits earned, Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, High Caliber, Steel Wall, and a base experience of 1354 experience. He did over 3700 damage, with the 2 closest damaging dealers from his own platoon and in his own team. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, because, well, I enjoyed making it. I especially enjoyed watching that replay. I'll see you guys on the battlefield, and good luck.